Welcome, everyone. Michelle Carty, CC Realty Show, and really happy to be here. And tonight we are not going to take a lot of time. Tonight's really about getting right down to the facts and points. So this is 2021, folks, and CC Realty has been kind of evolving and growing in this Hamilton-Halton area for a couple of years. You may or may not be familiar with who we are, but as a full service real estate, you might recognize a couple of names: Cindy Zupanovic, Alok Shadra, new gentleman Scott McKenzie, and we probably have upwards about 4,000 people that we work with. And why do we get up every day? And why do we do what we do? It is not about us. It's about serving. So I wanted to take just 10 minutes this evening and share with everybody what is really transpiring out there in the market. And before I get that started, I just wanted to wish everybody an absolutely amazing 2021. Does not matter, folks, where you are right now, whether you are renting, whether you own. We understand we're all being very safe, and we know it's not the easiest to maintain at this point in time, not to mention we're in January, and if you're living up here in Canada and in Ontario, it's not exactly the most warmest weather. But more importantly, everyone, just know how much we really do think about all of you. We care all of you. And 2021 is a very different year. I want to just take a few minutes this evening to shed some light to those that might be, well, what really is going on? And some people are really trying to figure this out. Why is this market going so strong when we've got COVID and all of this? Well, I am going to do a quick screen share, and I just want to bring you up to, I'm going to be able to get onto the right screen here, folks. And I thought for today, we're not making it fancy. You can see my shining light in the background. It's really just the content. We're on episode 28, and it is January the 6th, 2021. We haven't stopped. I think, in 8 months. And, I've got a couple of different just incredible partners that I work with. And there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that our consumers may or may not be aware of what we really do to help people get across the finish line and recognize that real estate's a process. It's just a point in time. So today I just wanted to take a couple of moments, and you can all see this is coming from the Canada Real Estate Association. And public knowledge, when it comes to RAB, it stated here, now this was last month, that inventory was really low, demand is really high. Well, I just wanted to share this quick little snippet. I'm not going to bore you with more of that, but not to bore you, but to enlighten you. The demand rate now in this market, and we are in Ontario and we are in the GTA surrounding area. So just so happens we're in the Hamilton-Halton. The demand is so strong. We are not seeing 10, 15 people. Sometimes we're seeing upwards of 25, 30 people on an offer. If you're a realtor and you're watching this, I want to give you some comfort. Folks, real estate is point in time. Whether we're in, some people call this the seller's market. And what that means is we are professionals. We are responsible when we have clients that we represent to represent them, and we're taking on. It's up to us to know this stuff. We're almost like consultants at the end of the day. And what are we doing? Remember that real estate is a process, not a transaction. So there's a lot of intel that goes in behind how we help guide our clients. And well, what does that mean at the end of the day? So for our consumers that are watching this, folks, real estate is not a transaction, it's a process. And in this market, because it's very, very strong, it's up to us to do the homework to help people really interpret what's going on with the market. So if you're a consumer and you're out there and you're on realtor.ca, or I know there's some other sites, and I have one of the clients that we're working with right now shared one with me. I hadn't heard of it before, but wonderful, great tool. I think it was House Sigma. And I'm a very honest, transparent person, but now I know. Whatever you're following, Zillow, whatever they may be, this market's moving so fast that we can't even, by the time you check something one day, 3 days later, it could change. 2 days later, it could change. But the most important thing I'd love for people to take away from this is when you're on realtor.ca and you're a consumer. So let me give you the example. We'll take you through it. I'm going to go back over here. And folks, I'm going to change this. I'm just going to go to realtor.ca. So I'm going to put my consumer hat on. So I'm going to go on to realtor.ca. Okay, here I am. Another little tip, and this came to me, it was about a little over a year ago, that the realtor.ca, from all the research that's been done, this is just third-party knowledge, so it's not me claiming it, I'm referring somebody else share this with me. It is still the most searchable engine in the world. So there's a lot of work that goes on behind software development if we're not familiar with those markets. So realtor.ca, I'm on here. Well, let's say, okay, I'm going to put on my, I call it my role play hat, folks, and I'm going to be, let's say, a first-time home buyer. I'm not be as familiar. I don't know what this process looks like. I just know that we've been saving and we're ready. And let's say, okay, we're pre-approved, but I'm now curious. I'm going to start looking. So let's just say I take a look in the Hamilton area. So I'm going to go Hamilton. Let's say I go minimum price. Well, okay, let's say I'm going to look between 300 and let's say I'm going to look between 300 and 450. We figure that might be a healthy budget. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the baths, and I just want to see what comes up. So here I am. I'm looking away, and I see Hamilton, and I say, oh, okay, there's different properties. And then, oh, why is Grimsby there? Okay, that's a little far, but there's Grimsby, Brantford. So it comes to different areas. I can narrow this search down to Hamilton. And then all of a sudden I go on the property. So I want to just point something out to everybody that's watching. Let's say that, oh, that's the house, 399,000, 40 Kennedy Street, Brantford, Ontario. Oh my gosh, I got to go check this one out. Okay. Oh, it's a detached. Oh my God, it's the detached. All right, I want to be able to check it out. So I may call William, reach out, get some information. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to shed a little light on this. If you are a licensed professional realtor, you know all the data behind the scenes, and you know that just because it's listed at 399,000, maybe there's an offer date. Maybe it's listed under market value because you're representing the seller, not the buyers. As a consumer, I'm a buyer. I'm online. Oh, I see 399. I don't know all those other details until I reach out and I speak to someone. Well, I do know that there are still a lot of buyers that go out, they're not represented, and they're doing this on their own. I want to shed a bit of light, folks, that this market is very, 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 very strong. There is simply not enough homes out there for the people that are trying to get into the market. And if you're a first-time buyer, and if your budgets are around that 300 to 400,000 or 300 to 450, I cannot emphasize enough. If you're pre-approved, you're financially ready, reach out to your realtor. Reach out to who you know. Start talking. Start looking. Interview a few realtors, because the market is what's happening today. If it continues, and they're anticipating it continue to be strong, could be going up. We're not seeing a lot of it go down. Now, markets can be different. If a home has certain things that are wrong with it, it may sit for a little while. But I want to leave people with, it's such a great practice to get your homework done. The market's very strong. If you're looking on your own and you see these prices, they may not necessarily sell for those prices. They might sell quite a bit higher. Even in Kitchener, we are seeing areas where they're getting multiple offers on properties, and sometimes upwards of 30, sometimes upwards of 20. So I really emphasize, I don't want that to discourage people. Your professional realtor is there to help you get through that. It is strategy. It is solution based. Reach out to them. They're there for you. Markets don't stay the same. When it is this strong, there's not necessarily a lot of negotiating. Now, it could we might if we come across a property and for some reason it had, or let's say it was overpriced, the buyers will let us know what the value's worth. The buyers will absolutely let us know what it's worth. But I want people to be able to kind of take from this. It's about getting homework done. It's about getting your information, getting accurate information, and understanding the process when it's in this time of a market as well. So when you put your foot in the door, when you finally secure real estate, so you got to, whether you're in a condo, whether you're in a detached, whether you're in a condo town, you're in a condo freehold, if your goal is to become an owner, and I value that immensely because it's one of the absolute best things you can do for yourself. But if your goal is to become an owner, it's getting the foot in the door to start. Sometimes we might not be able to move into that dream home right away, but we want to be able to work within the budget. And it's all about understanding what you can afford. And that's where the mortgage broker, the mortgage comes into play. Now, we're a full service. We have relationships with trusted mortgage brokers and trusted mortgage agents. I encourage that for all. Lots of great, wonderful tools online. However, it's really important, just because those tools are online, if you're self-employed, there's different ways that lenders look at that. So you want to be able to get yourself pre-approved, or find out what your buying power is. You won't know that until you've gone through a pre-approval application. You can get an idea of rangely, but they'll decide. And because of COVID, underwriters, they decide, like they're the ones that say what conditions they want, etc. So it is a process, folks. And right now, December into January, we're in 2021. The market's not stopped. It's been going. We've been kind of going over the holidays. And it is kind of the year of demand from what we're seeing. The rates are at an all-time low. And as I've always said, it doesn't cost people money to get your homework done. But it costs you money if you make a decision on an emotion and then find out later that you're financially bound to something. This is a legal-based industry. You are bound to agreements and contracts. If something was to firm up, let's say you got really excited and you were your realtor and you want to put an offer in, and let's say, okay, no, I want to go in clean, and you've acknowledged all the forms and signed, you are accountable, nobody else but you. Pre-construction, same scenario. We're seeing more of this in the pre-construction because we cover everything. All inventory. As a professional, what is our inventory? Everything from resale to pre-construction. When you're doing a pre-construction, you're essentially buying a contract. When that property starts to become ready, if it's a condo, there's two different closes, a phantom close and then your actual mortgage close. But even there, as you're getting close and you want to take on, and all of a sudden you've got to, at least you're taking occupancy, you are responsible for paying the interest over the period until they're ready and you get your mortgage. If for any reason you cannot close, you're held responsible. It's if for any reason you feel, well, the builder did this and the builder did that. Look, emotions don't really matter in court. What matters was those are legal agreements and they've got to be reviewed. And you want to make sure that you know what you're signing. And if you're going to do these things, work with professionals. So I can't emphasize this enough. Everybody, as far as my personal opinion goes, you should have a very good, reputable realtor that you trust, and you have good foundation why you trust. Secondly, a mortgage broker, a mortgage agent. When you're in the process of doing these things, you want homework done. And benchmark. The data's out there. We can get pretty good ideas. I do know